So if Supes blames anybody for this video, it's gonna be Jalen, his best friend, because Jalen comes out and vigorously defends Supes constantly about how Supes basically got his manager to want to off himself. I'm gonna be using off as a synonym for, of course, K-I-L-L, because I'm not gonna be saying that word to not get demonetized, basically. But somebody came out and posted a tweet or a picture that showed Supes tweeting out, "I got my manager to want to off himself, ha 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 ha." And then Jalen, his best friend, came out and said, "Spreading fake tweets on a bigger creator to promote your YouTube is a new low for this community." And I said, didn't he actually do that though? Jalen's like, no. I gotta know when this was disproven. The article that shows that Brad basically showed all the evidence of Supes and all these other creators backstabbing him, which is 100% true, which I'll get into in a second. And then he never answered my tweet for some reason. He never wanted to like respond to that, but somebody was like, "Jalen, you gotta answer." And he's like, not a thing in this article debunks the fact that Brad, mid-30s, took advantage of a 19-year-old content creator and others, which is the sole reason Brad's career was messed up, which is also untrue because in that article, which I'll read in just a minute, he was saying all the things that he did to contribute to Supes and all these other freaking content creators' actual careers. So whatever the fuck Jalen's talking about is garbage, but he kind of relates to Supes when Supes is going out here touching minors' legs. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get into that real quick, but Jalen is in the same camp with minors. It's actually kind of surprising. So let's go ahead and get into this real quick. And shout out to Benjamin, who actually came out. He was one of the first people to say this about a week ago. So I just have to shout him out because he gave me a lot of information while I was actually editing and making this video, or before I made the video. So shout out to this guy. Go follow him if you could. I'm not alleging anybody did anything. I'm just taking the tweets and the posts that I've seen and just kind of reacting to them because this is insane. Supes was doing an interview with the girl that played, what was it, Miss America or America Sanchez? I don't know what in Madness of Multiverse, she was playing one of the characters. And they basically surprised the audience by bringing her out and making, you know, an interview with her. And Supes does something very, very weird. I mean, so creepy, it's actually bizarre. So let's go ahead and react to this real quick in real time.
Oh my god. No, this is such a surreal moment. Guys, I met Sochi at the premiere for Black Widow. And when I saw her, she was at the corner of the carpet, just like admiring all the fans that were honoring Black Widow with their cosplays. I'm telling all the stories, all right?
It was Oh, why did he touch her leg? Mind you, he's like 21 in this video. She's like 16. Why is this interviewer caressing this I've never seen an interview where the person that's interviewing the person starts caressing the fucking person's leg, let alone a fucking minor on camera. This is the weirdest shit. Look at his eyes. He just looks creepy. And watch the reaction after this. There's another like 15 seconds of reaction. Just watch this whole clip, please.
Funny, yeah, I was in the corner, just like watching everything. Like, wow, this is gonna be our movie.
She kind of seems like she's, and look at him just staring. Oh, he looks so creepy. I can't get through this whole video without like cringing, bro. I swear to Christ. Hang on, I'm sorry. Let me get through it. But she looks so taken aback. Like just inside, you can see she's inside her head.
Wow.
Yep. And now, look, the day's here.
Creepy, bro. You're able to drink, you're able to buy guns. She is not even out of high school yet, theoretically, right? 16, and that's some of the creepy. And look at the eye contact there. You can't tell me the body language is not there. She just looks, and he just caressed her leg, and it's weird, bro. Weird as fuck for somebody in his stature, in this position, in this moment, to caress some 16-year-old leg. Bro, what the fuck? How wasn't he ever canceled or never like actually told to apologize for this? Because that is weird and creepy. And then we go on to Jalen too, by the way, who's also kind of weird. This guy just tweeted me before I made this video. He was like, yeah, I exposed Jalen for this. And this girl was like, y'all, I'm 17. I ain't gonna make an OnlyFans. Oh. And then Jalen's like, yeah, but planning for the future is always good. Bro, I need to know. I asked Jalen how old he is. I don't think he responded. But if you are not that same age, what the fuck are you talking about, you weirdo, bro? Even still, is that not like an insinuation to take pictures when she's 17, which is technically CP? which is weird as fuck. These TikTok comic book fucking guys are weird as hell and need to be called out because Jalen was vigorously, like I said in the beginning of the video, defending Supes, saying he's such a good guy. But Supes is just as much of a creep and a weirdo as this. That right there, that tweet makes me want to recoil and fucking cringe and back away. That is weird, bro. Period. I'm not alleging that they're, you know, PDF files. I'm not alleging anything. But from what I've seen from people exposing these two, they are creepy, bro. Creepy as fuck! So, besides that, apparently they're still friends. Either way, that's creepy too. Like, you know, you're 21 and she was 16. What the fuck do you guys have in common to be friends? Honest to God, what, you're both kind of famous? No, that shit's weird to me. Like, you shouldn't be befriending teenagers. And isn't she still 19 and you're like, what, 25? Again, what the fuck do you guys have in common? She can't even drink. Anyway, if we're trying to like say, oh yeah, these Hollywood guys, they're not creepy. Bro, all these guys that get famous and get big always wind up to be some weirdos. And the fact that Brad came out and also was talking about this, it's funny because when you read what he's done, it's funny because they're like, yeah, no, they took advantage of this guy. Oh yeah, Brad took advantage of all these TikTokers, all these guys. But when you read what he said, the narrative that I used them would imply that I didn't provide any value or assistance and simply gain from my relationship with them. If you're coaching, writing emails, building decks, attending meetings / events / photo shoots, creating new deal opportunities, making introductions to business contacts, managing campaigns, handling day-to-day communication with brands, editing footage, coordinating and compelling social media verifications, and providing nearly round-the-clock availability both personally and professionally, you are providing it. He's right. If he was literally doing all that, which by the way, he shows evidence of him doing this in an article that I will provide down below in the description that you can read yourself. He provides evidence of all this. And then you have pictures of Supes literally saying, I couldn't thank you enough for everything, brother. So grateful to have met you. But then he turns around, without even telling him, by the way, and tries to backstab him with an article that shows no evidence of Brad doing anything wrong to these guys. It's kind of pathetic. It's actually kind of insane in my opinion. And it's kind of downright dickheadish. He's a legit asshole. Matt, his name, I'm only gonna call him Supes because that's just giving him too much credit. He's Matt, bro. And I've never met a Matt that I've liked. This guy specifically, just, it's insane. When you look at the things that he says, in August of last year, I had a sit down with chat with Matt, aka Supes, about what I perceived to be his erratic and concerning behavior. I was worried that if he didn't get control of his emotions and insecurities, they would ruin him. And then he's showing meetings of people with like Jeffrey Wright. He says, I'm gonna kill someone. Bro, yo, that's weird. He says, F this bitch, or whoever, I don't even know who he's talking about. And then he's talking about people that did get invited to like pressers and whatnot, saying, I'm gonna effing kill someone. That's insane, bro. He is insane. And then you keep going down to different things about what he says. And he's also saying this to Brad, the guy that apparently mistreated him so bad. Bro, on some real shit, I love you, bro. So grateful to have met you, and I know we're gonna take it over this whole shit. Fuck everyone else. Marcus, whoever the hell that is. Because if they're not gonna join us now, then fuck them. He seems like a very egotistical dickhead. I fucking love you, big bro. Talk tomorrow. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bro. I always wanted an older brother growing up, and I'm grateful I found you in this. Wow. I mean, that's kind of crazy for the person that apparently took so much advantage of you. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like Supes is lying, and everybody that's defending him is also lying and trying to hold back the fact that Brad actually got taken advantage of instead. He gave him all this stuff, and instead, Supes took advantage of that. How the fuck is Supes not canceled, bro? He seems like the biggest piece of garbage, minor friendly person imaginable. It's so creepy. And he looks like a fucking creep all the time, too. Every single picture I see of him, he's a fucking weirdo. He has, like, the corporate speech. Every time he speaks, every time he talks, it sounds like he's not really genuine. You know, it sounds like your manager coming up to you and telling you that he has a problem with you. You know, today, we're just gonna be talking about some things that have been coming up recently. He's, like, so fucking precise with his wording and bullshit that when you look at these tweets and these, you know, these DMs and these personal messages, you're like, wow, that doesn't seem like the same guy. But man, it kind of makes a lot of sense. He just seems kind of unhinged in some of his videos when he's screaming and yelling and acting like a fucking weirdo. You know, it's bonkers to see. It's really crazy to see this type of stuff panning out. And him not ever being really exposed on a big platform besides this and a few other videos. And then friends like Jalen trying to say, yeah, that never happened. That never occurred. Even though it's a whole ass article that you could read from top to bottom with like, 30 paragraphs detailing how this man, Supes, Matt Ramos or whatever his name is, basically took advantage of this guy, said he was his bigger brother, and then basically backstabbed him with a fake article with zero evidence. It's ridiculous how he hasn't been called out for this. And the minors thing, by the way, which is creepy as shit. Creepy as hell that he's going out and touching girls like that. Why are you rubbing her leg, bro? She doesn't want to touch you. She doesn't want you touching her. You can tell. Anyway, I'm not accusing nobody of nothing. Legally, try me, bro. I swear, try me. It would be the funniest thing to see everybody's face if anybody wants to try me with slander or defamation. Because y'all said this shit and y'all did this shit. And I got really good lawyers too, believe me. Believe me. So you can try it. But I'm just telling you right now, these TikTok comic book guys, weird, insecure, fucking pathetic. Honest to God. When you see things like this, it really paints them in a new light. And I feel really bad for letting this slip under the radar 2 years ago, because I would have called this shit out immediately, bro. I knew this happened, but I still didn't call it out. I feel so bad for not doing that. So, Jalen and whatnot, that's not really punk rock of you to be going out telling 17-year-olds to prepare to make an OnlyFans, by the way. It's not really punk rock of Supes to be getting jealous and insecure about people going out and getting opportunities that he didn't get and saying, fuck, F this bitch, or I'm gonna off this person. I'm gonna off somebody. Weird! And then I'm sure there are so many other guys that are just the same that have that TikTok, YouTube, Twitter foundation where they have this huge audience, where they're taking advantage of this audience and trying to build something very toxic without people actually knowing it. And then I could care less about what Supes says about Spider-Man. I could give a less of a fuck. This all kind of spiraled from that. There's one guy that was like, yeah, I'm going to basically call out Supes for his Spider-Man takes. And then he started calling him out for touching a minor on his leg. I'm like, wait, when did that happen? And then I saw the video. I'm like, wow, really? And then you see the article about him basically making his manager want to off himself by backstabbing him, which Jalen defended, by the way. Pathetic. Disgusting. And it's really, really weird. You see all this stuff about them, and it's really, really telling about their characters. And the fact that they probably haven't grown as much because they gain more power. They've gained more notoriety. They're like talking heads of this community. When they say something about a character that's a hot take, they get called out. When Supes is saying that the first Suicide Squad movie is the best one ever, and The Flash is one of the best movies ever, one of the best comic book movies ever, it's polarizing apparently. But these guys are fucking creeps that don't deserve the attention. They don't deserve, nobody in this realm deserves notoriety unless they actually have done something. Supes hasn't done shit except yell into his fucking camera and his phone. Jalen, I don't even know what the fuck Jalen does. What does he do? Talk about comic books on his TikTok? I don't give a fuck about it. I've never watched these guys' TikToks. I just think that seeing all this shit, weird, borderline creepy. And the fact that no one's called it out is disgusting. So I'm glad. I think there's people that have been calling it out, but I want to be one of those people. And it doesn't seem like a lot of people really care about what they've done, even though this is creepy. If they want to be like, why are you bringing this up? It's almost like a job review. You want people to know what they're signing up for when they get you. It's like a referral, you know what I mean? People are telling you what you've done in your past. And the fact that you haven't taken accountability or responsibility for those things really shows that you haven't changed at all. So why should people look at those past things and subscribe to you or follow you? No, it's disgusting. And I think that Jalen and Supes or Matt understands that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be making a ton more videos really, really soon. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Very random, but I think it was a very important one to make. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.